Hi everyone, it's Friday once again, so it's time for another top 10. So, hands up first of all if you managed to burn through your Claude credits this week. I know there was a couple of days where I hit my session limits, but yeah, so I had to go back to the good old days of handwriting code. Honest, I'm not doing it that much. But no, it's been another really good week in the Laravel world. Lots of great releases, lots of new packages. We're all still waiting on that new Laravel AI package by Taylor. Hopefully we're going to see some more of that at Laracon India. I was lucky enough to jump on a 30-minute live stream with Eric from Laravel News. It was great. We got to chat about Jump 24. We got to talk about the top 10s that I do every week. And of course we threw in a bit of golf as well, as we both enjoy playing. So let's crack on with this week's top 10. So in first place, we've got Brent. Now, this is a follow-on post from his previous one where he was talking through how he made his scripts for his event sourcing to pull the data out and into his database faster. So he was going from 30 events per second, and he got it up to 50,000 events per second. So obviously he put that post out, and then a number of people commented on it with improvements. So he went about making those improvements gradually, and yeah, it's really interesting. I won't spoil the final figure, but trust me, if you are wondering how to improve your potential import scripts and things like that, give this one a watch. There's some really nice little tidbits on how to do that. Next up then, we've got Barry. Now, you would have seen packages by Barry in the Laravel world, but one that we love to use at Jump 24 is the debug bar, and he's just released the latest version 4. It's got a bunch of new improvements. One of them is that he's removed jQuery, so it's just modern JS in there, which is great because we've had issues in the past where there's been some conflicts. We've actually had that in the past with some applications, so it's really nice to see this and some new features. So it's great to see V4 out the door. If you've not given this a go, this package, I suggest you do, because it really helps you see if you're running way too many queries on a page, if loads and loads of models loading, things like that you can potentially improve. So give it a go if you're not already using it, and if you are, upgrade to V4. Next up then, we've got a video here on Laravel News. Eric Barnes and Jason McCreary, or JMac as you might know him as, from Laravel Shift. Now he's recently put together a video course called Fast Laravel, which kind of guides you through using Cloudflare to help improve the speed of your application with caching and all the little tools that Cloudflare has. So Jason here has been working with Eric on improving the speed of Laravel News. Again, Eric recently did a transition from Forge to Cloud, where he live streamed that, and this is a kind of a next step for him where they're looking at how to improve the page load speeds and things like that through using the tools that Cloudflare offer. Then we've got this post here by Jack, who the creator of Statamic, and he's announcing the release of version 6. Now, we've been using Statamic for a while now at Jump 24 on certain projects. Huge fans of it. We really enjoy it. We really think it's a great CMS. We used to use WordPress for certain sites, but we've taken this one on board, and yeah, we really love it. And of course, it's Laravel behind the scenes, so it's great because not only have we got a CMS, but we can also build things in Laravel to work outside of it. So yeah, V6 is out, so we'll be busy upgrading our V5 apps over the coming weeks once some of the packages have upgraded. But yeah, if you're not using Statamic, I suggest you head over, go and grab a copy, and trust me, you won't be, you'll be delighted with what you see. And then we've got Marcus here. So he does a lot of work with PHP Stan, and this post is basically one where they talk about how they spent 6 weeks collaborating together on improving the speed of PHP Stan. You might notice sometimes, in your pipelines or, running it locally that it does take a while sometimes, depending, the larger your code base, the longer it takes. So, yeah, they put together, a bit of work. They collaborated together for 6 weeks or so. And with the late, release 2.1.34, they've, seen massive speed increases. So if you're not on that version, I suggest you update, and hopefully you're going to notice those speed improvements as well. Next up then, we have Cepha here with his post on MySQL performance tuning. Now, you often build your applications, and you might write queries that work great when you've got low numbers, but once that database starts to fill up, you'll get you start to see bottlenecks in your queries. So in this post, he kind of goes through ways to understand what's wrong with your query. He like using the MySQL explain function, how to read that read that output and like understand what's wrong, and then he talks about creating indexes and other things that you can look at to help improve your queries. Now, again, this is something at the start of a project. You're not necessarily thinking about like these little improvements, but as your project grows over time, it's definitely worth reading this and hopefully taking away some of the things that he's put together in this post. Next up then, we've got Roberto here with his post, how to deprecate PHP code. Now we know you might be writing a package or that people are using in the world, and comes a time when you want to remove a public function because it's not needed anymore, or actually you want to make you realize you've made a big mistake with that, but how do you go about nicely doing that in a way that obviously will not break everyone's application who's using your package? So here he talks about how to use the kind of deprecation functions that are available. So the PHP docs, in the new in PHP 8 we've also got the attributes that you can use. And he just goes through like the things that you should do to make your users aware that these bits of code are going to be deprecated and removed in future versions to get them ready for that. Next up, it's a real short one. I really enjoy Ryan's posts because they're short and succinct. But here he talks about a quick little script, bash script that you can use to deploy to Forge. Now they have a an API that you can use, but sometimes speed, and you might just have a quick bash script. You want to do something really quick and simple. He's put together this little bash script for you to use. Next up then, we've got Freak here with his post. Now, this is one that you might have those developers out there who often their commit messages are just work in progress, whip, and it gives no real indication of the work that they've been doing. And sometimes it makes those commit messages are quite important sometimes, but it can be difficult to get certain developers out of that mindset of just whip. So he's used AI, obviously Claude, for this to help him basically put together decent commit messages from the code that's being pushed up right now. So he kind of shows the function that's being used, talks about it, how he uses it, and a nice little simple thing. And hopefully, if you've got one of those developers in your team who loves the whip comment, maybe send them this way, and they might start generating some decent commit messages. And then lastly, this is Len. Now, on this post on Twitter, he demos how he built agentic programming using Laravel prompts. Quite interesting. Not seen this done. And the video kind of goes through how using Laravel prompts and this the command line, he's able to answer questions, ask it to do things, get responses, and deal with them. And yes, it's a really interesting approach to doing this. I've not seen it before, and I believe I think he's going to be doing a few more of these things as well. So that's quite interesting. Well, that's it for this week. Hopefully there was something that you enjoyed. If there was, please let me know in the comments, or like and subscribe to this channel if you've not done that in the past. And obviously, don't forget to go over and check out the website where all my previous top 10s are. And I look forward to seeing you again next week.